Hello everyone, Pally here, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're taking a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Splintered Fate. This is a roguelike for 1 to 4 players. We've actually already shown it off on the channel because we played it during our 24-hour charity live stream this year. But a lot of people have been asking for a more in-depth look at the game, so that is what I am here to do today. We're going to be starting a new run, and of course, this is a Ninja Turtles title. You get to pick between the 4 Ninja Turtles. If you take a look at the right side of the screen, you will see that these guys all have different inspirations, which is kind of like a passive buff, and different tools as well, which is going to be activated throughout the run. My favorite turtle is Donatello, both in-game and out, so I'm going to be playing him today. As we arrive back in the Lair, I could show you guys some of the upgrades that you can get in between your runs. When you first start playing, you're only going to have one currency. It is the dragon coins, and you can come over here to this station to do things like increasing your elemental damage, your attack critical hit chance, your movement speed, your tool damage, all this kind of character bonuses. That's the way I look at it. This will make my character stronger. However, when we go over here, this is the second currency that gets unlocked. This is the Dreamer coins. You have to do a couple runs before you get these. We can unlock economy upgrades, so we get more of these currencies to then get more bonuses. What I've really been specializing in are these two in luck, perchance, and then double trouble. It allows us to get more upgrade chances throughout a run. There are artifacts similar to Hades where you can kind of target specific bonuses if you want your run to go a certain way. For instance, the manhole cover top left is water. We would get water bonuses, fire, ooze, ninja, and lightning bonuses on those respective ones that we selected. I think for today's game, let's go in with some ninja tools and see if we can have some fun.
I wonder if old Leatherhead's still lurking around.
He definitely is. We don't need to wonder about that. So this is the beginning of the run. We are in Chapter 1, The Sewers. And I do get a free choice of upgrades to start our run off. I think I'm going to go for Extended Assault. Throw a shuriken forward at the start of my dash. There is a small chance that I get a second buff there. And that portal that you saw open up is a mechanic that's only available after you finish your first run. Basically, you're able to modify your runs quite extensively. Taking every challenge can be pretty difficult. We're going to pick wisely if we can today. That first portal always leads to increased health on enemies, so I kind of don't even look at that one anymore, and I just kind of keep on rolling by. Now, I did mention that this game is playable in co-op. You can play as a solo player. Up to 4 turtles can join in on one run. And I genuinely do think that this is one of the most co-op friendly roguelites that I have ever seen.
These rats are
the reason for that is as we are playing by ourselves, if I die, the run is over. As you're playing in co-op, if you die, and your friends are able to keep going, let's say even one friend is able to fight back all the monstrosities on the screen and survive, well, your entire party comes back to life. There's no, like, buying them back in. They even get to pick upgrades at the end of the level. It is very, very forgiving in co-op. For single player, it's still going to be a bit of a doozy. Reduce the number of turtle power and upgrade. Nope, not going to reduce anything. I want to show you guys as many options as possible. If I can get a build together that pops off, you could see at least some of the synergies in this game, and I'd be pretty happy.
Bouncers incoming.
So, as of right now, I've kind of only been auto-attacking and dashing a little bit, but we do have other abilities. This is my special. It hits a wide area around us, and my tool for Donatello gives us a barrier that also deals some physical damage around us, but makes us immune to attacks for at least a few seconds. Whoa, we have a mini-boss challenge, and I will accept it. By doing the harder mini-bosses, we have a chance of getting better currencies for our account progression. And as you can see, this stuff gets pretty wild. This is very claustrophobic in here. And there are randomized bosses, but the one we got today is big on area denial. So I'm going to use my tool to try to eat a little bit of that damage, and we're going to keep looking for openings to kind of move back in here. The enemies that don't have armor, aside from these mini-bosses, can be stunned with a single hit, or I guess staggered is maybe a better term, in a single hit. Let me dash in here, do our special, and then I have immunity when we need it. Good damage. Unfortunately, I'm kind of beating these guys up evenly, so it's not clearing out too much area for me. As you can see, that guy was channeling at the top of the screen, but because they don't have armor, a simple hit will interrupt that channel. There are modifiers for some of those portals. We did one last night where every single enemy is able to have armor, and it makes the run just absolutely ridiculously challenging. Come on! Okay, I got one. We took a little bit of damage to do it, but the good news is that we're playing as Donatello, so our inspiration, our passive buff, is going to heal us a little bit every time we go to a new stage. So taking that damage there wasn't too big of a deal. We can get inspiration from other characters, though. So even though I'm not playing as Leonardo, we have a couple of his inspiration choices here. One more charge on our special would be great, and I'm going to go ahead and pick that up.
I offer you.
Hostile attacks are larger. No, thank you. I don't need larger attacks. If you're wondering if what the challenges are, it's literally just a room just like this, and you simply unlock a passive, usually a negative effect on your run as a result of clearing it. Great use of our special. As both of these stronger ninjas grouped up there, we were able to cleave them down easily. Now, I can't just spam that special out all the time, or even my tool I can't spam out all the time. We actually have to go in and deal damage with our auto attacks to build up the charge for both of those.
In my stomach.
We do have the added bonus of being able to charge up our tool much quicker than all the other turtles, so hopefully we can become immune to damage quite a lot. The frogs are not my favorite enemy. They start slinging around goo, which is this green stuff that you're seeing on the screen, and it can add up to quite a lot of damage over time. One thing I really enjoy about this game, though, is that the Foot Clan, which are the ninjas here, and the frogs are not on the same team. Well, maybe these guys actually are, and this is a bad example, but they will fight each other. Factions will brawl around you in this game, and you're just kind of in the middle trying to survive. I think that's super fun when that actually does happen. If we take down this guy, we should be able to proceed. I do want to really stress that the game is...
To the chairman's house we go.
I got increased crit chance. Not what I wanted. I was pressing A to dash, but that's okay. This game does scale up in difficulty quite a lot with additional players. And as we continue to go deeper and deeper, it's going to get much harder as well. So this is the first shot, basically our first checkpoint. We have accumulated 699 scrap in this run so far, and now we can turn some of that scrap into bonuses for us. So I can get some more turtle powers here. We have two different throwing arts with Shuriken. One is a ricochet, where it bounces in between enemies, and the other is like a boomerang that comes back. I personally think the boomerang coming back is much stronger, so I'm going to try to bait for that. We're going to get shuriken attacks, so now there's a 30% chance every time I swing my weapon that a shuriken is going to come flying out of my weapon. There is a normal boss difficulty as well as a hard mode boss, and if you stand close to it, you can sometimes get different currencies for doing the hard mode. For this particular boss, I find him very difficult early in the game because you don't have a lot of your combat synergies yet. We're just now getting our powers rolling.
I will never give up.
Notice there is some dialogue, kind of similar to Hades as we fight certain villains. Leatherhead is a staple of every run. He's always going to be this boss on the path, basically. But it's not like we have unlimited dialogue choices like Hades had. Pretty quickly, he'll be like, oh, we're fighting again. Just kind of like what happened here. And then it's like, yeah, we are. That's kind of the dialogue. There is more meaningful, like, gameplay-driven dialogue that happens back in the Lair. Like, the NPCs that hang out with the turtles will comment on certain things that happened during the run or certain things that maybe your character did during the run. But a lot of that unique dialogue doesn't happen in the run itself. Leatherhead has been beaten up to the point that he is going to disappear and start phase 2 of the encounter. This is where rats are going to be starting to spawn in, but these rats think of them as like not really a neutral party because they're only fighting me, but I'm not the only one that can damage these rats. For instance, if we can get Leatherhead to charge over these guys, he could clear out a whole group of rats for us, no problem. Great example there as he's doing his wave attack. It cleared out a section of those rats without me having to really do anything. Every time we dash, we are getting immunity frames, and they are very generous. So if you've played any Elden Ring games, any Souls games, you should be pretty familiar with using your immunity frames to dodge through attacks. There is a dash on Leonardo that basically gives the exact same thing. So you're able to immunity frame all kinds of stuff. Dodging is really, really important. But also, you know, we could sit in there and just tank this with my shield if we really wanted to. There are definitely opportunities for like skill expression that really matter, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's get away from the rows of goop that's coming towards us. Although you don't have to leave, you could just immunity frame right through those. He kind of has the same pattern that keeps repeating. This third attack will damage you from behind on those successive slams, so we need to make sure we're out of the way. We've damaged his health to the point where he's going to do the gauntlet again. He's going to do a slide thing again, and more rats are going to spawn. On the hard mode version of this fight, the real issue is that the boss has more health, but he's also spawning in elite rats as well, which makes this a very, very hectic encounter. There's just poison going all over the room. Let's see if we can sneak in here and deal some damage. I'm going to immune that water heading towards me just so we could get that special rolling. As soon as I have that special ready again, we're going to let it rip. Make sure we're not in the AoE range of that, and then jump behind him. There are some combinations of items that can influence your special. For instance, you can add elemental damage onto it. Good example of immunity frames there. I was not out of that circle, but because we were mid-dash, we were totally fine. Okay, I feel like I've talked about the positives of this game a lot. Let me show you some of the negatives of this game that I really don't like. So I played the demo. There was a demo, and then when I booted up the game, voice volume was set to 0. I also didn't know there was music because I put the game on my normal settings, which is, I know this is gonna, like, who cares?
All the basic
I have this thing I do for every game because I make content, right? It's voice is always 100%, SFX at 70, music at 40. That's kind of how I balance every game. I literally didn't know there was music because it was so quiet at 40%. And then when I turn it up a little bit, it's just completely overpowering. Oh, we get some more inspirations from the other turtles. I do like the idea of having a bigger striking area. Another thing I don't like, I am playing on PC. I am using a controller on PC. This is not uncommon. People do this all the time. Look what happens when I go to key mapping. I cannot change anything on the controller. What? Why? Why? Also, every time we start a game in multiplayer, the person hosting crashes every time. And then the first loading screen to get in is super duper long. I think that's all my grievances. I think we've aired them. I feel good. I feel good. Let's try and take down these Foot Clan that have spawned in. Notice these guys are a different color. They have the yellow suits. They do have promotional uniforms. So as you get better at being a ninja, your suit gets better. Notice all of these guys are in blue except for the guy in the middle. The guy in the middle is the really scary one. They are much more aggressive with throwing their shuriken, so we have to dodge them much more. You know, if we can get these guys grouped up here, that would be beautiful for a special hit. That's what I like to see. I don't think that was... Oh, that was the end of the room. We do get an upgrade here, so we can upgrade a particular part of our boons that we've already gotten, or we can try to get another new ninja power. Because this is ninja and what I'm building for, I'm going to try to get another power. Oh, here we go. Finally, Shuriken now boomerang back to you, returning to your current position and dealing 30% less damage. Well, this has a few upgrades. Every boon that we've gotten so far has in the game has 3 possible upgrade levels that you can get. So now that we have the returning Shuriken, we can actually potentially buff it to the point where the shuriken that we are throwing deal more damage on the return than they do going towards our enemies, which is really, really fun. And I've had situations where I'm able to completely fill the room with shuriken constantly throughout the course of a run. Hopefully we can get there today. I think that would be super duper fun. Now, shuriken are not the only way of building. Like I said, there are those other elemental artifacts that you could get at the start of the game that would also change your run up quite a lot throughout the course of it. We have taken down those enemies. Unfortunately, no powers here, so I am going to have to get a different bonus. That pizza box that we grabbed does give us a little bit more health. We have 378 health. And I do have some passive bonuses as well that we picked up from the dragon coins, I believe, which make it so when I heal for a bit more. So our passive Donatello inspiration of healing every time we get to an encounter, I think by default it only heals for 5, but we're actually healing for like 9 or 10 every time we enter a room. So over time, keeping my health high has become significantly easier in this game. But on our starting runs, it was a doozy for sure. Most of these enemies still don't have armor either, so as we walk up to these guys, we can keep them CC'd pretty easy. I also really like the fact that I'm getting both charges of my special back once we fill up that meter, or at least I thought we were. Maybe we're not. Every time I've gone to use my special, I've had 2 charges, and I'm not used to that. That's a very nice bonus. We could potentially get an elemental effect onto our special as well. That might be worth swapping out an artifact for. These guys are dealing pretty decent damage to me. Let's try to get them all in the special if possible. If we can interrupt them, that means fewer shurikens flying around. I do have my damage immunity if we need it as well. We have taken a bit of a hit in this room, but I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. That was definitely the end, right? There's not gonna be another wave. Ooh, Fireball's a pretty good tool if we wanted to swap out. I really prize our immunity, though. I think that's really, really good. Ooze turtle powers. I don't think there's anything... Oh, well, special and tool deals ooze damage. That's actually not terrible. Ooze is a damage over time effect. We could throw that on our enemies and... Yeah, I'll do a mini boss challenge. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So this is double sea sentinels. This is going to be pretty hard to do. But we can apply ooze to both of them while they are grouped up with that new special thing that we just got. Also worth mentioning that these ninja here are enemies, right? No? Really? Oh my god, I really thought that this would be an all-out brawl, and instead they're all just focusing me. Okay, let's pop our immunity and try to kill off some of these smaller Foot Clans. And I will try to... Yes, perfect. See if I can keep grouping these guys up. The damage over time from the special is really, really good. I was kind of disappointed when I first saw it. I'm glad we decided to go through with it. Okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. We're popping immunity here. They're pretty grouped. Let's see if we can get poison out on everyone. I am a little concerned that I'm not differentiating friendly shuriken that I'm throwing and the deadly shuriken that the enemy are throwing. I mean, I know there's a pretty big size discrepancy, but I'm a little fucking stressed. There's a little bit of shit going on right now. I don't know if you can tell. We are a little over half health. Good jump for both of these guys. That means more poison for me. And I do like how grouped these guys are. Another thing about multiplayer is that you can really divide and conquer these enemies quite a lot. I've never been in this situation. I almost exclusively play this in multiplayer. I've never been in a situation where I've had to dodge this many attacks all on me at once. This is really difficult. One of the guys is down.
An exceptional encounter.
And the second one falls too.
Victorious.
Okay. Okay, mastery turtle powers. These could be good. Special and dash gain attack bonuses. Doesn't that mean they could throw shuriken? Unique attack. No, it's a quick move. No, I have to do the dash attack. Special gains all dash and dash. Okay, I read it wrong. We understand now. 20% more damage to bosses. 30% ultram damage, which is lightning. Or every other attack deals lightning damage. That could be pretty fun. I'm going to take the bonus damage to bosses, and I'm going to fetch myself a fisherman's friend throat lozenge out of this little bag in front of me. The next area we're going to is a shop. Oh, something important to mention in these shops, too. I don't think I did it in the first one. Something important to mention is that there's always boxes where you can get a little bit of extra scraps, and there's even passive bonuses you can get, I think, with your Dreamer coins that make it so you get more currency from these boxes when they break. So make sure you're always paying attention to those. Now, let's say I had all the ninja bonuses I wanted. I could easily swap out to another tree right now, but I still have some more things I want to pick up. We have a water bonus here. for 400 scrap. I think I'm going to get the health first. Thank you. He wasn't letting me talk to you again. Then we're going to get the health first and then see what we want here. Special and tool have an 80% chance to deal water damage. Final strike, which is like a combo to deal damage. Or attacks just deal 15% or 15 flat water damage on top of them. You do have to pay attention to some of your upgrades. For instance, dash attacks in particular. There are dash like bonuses. It's not even really an attack. It's just a bonus that happens when you dash.
Someone put TLC into this.
For basically every artifact. That might be a little hyperbole. But for instance, I can get a fire dash, I can get a lightning dash, I can get a goo dash, right? What we have right now is the dash that spawns shuriken. If I was to pick up any of those other dash upgrades, it would say it. I didn't notice it for a while, but it does say it, that it will swap out the conflicting bonus that you already have. So if I was to get a, oh God, that was a lot. If I was to get a bonus for a different dash right now, it would swap out my shuriken, and that would be devastating.
As quiet as a dead
However,
mouse.
There are scenarios where you do want to swap out mid-run, and various combos of different elements do work really, really well together. I don't think we're going to be focusing on any combos like that today. That's a little more advanced. Once we break this guy's armor, we can CC him, and it looks like we're going to be moving through with another Ninja Turtle power. Shuriken have a 30% chance of triggering tool bonuses. This guard break is really good. Shurikens apply a guard break for 2 seconds, increasing all damage received by 15%. That is a great bonus in multiplayer too, because there's not a ton of, I know of 2 effects that can cause a guard break off the top of my head, and that guard break improves the damage of your entire team when fighting anything that has their defenses weakened. These yellow ninjas, stack it up, are super scary. They have very quick attacks. If you don't dodge out of the way fast enough, you're going to be eating that damage. And they basically shotgun shurikens right into you, right into your midsection. If you don't dodge, each and every single one of those shurikens that flies forward does do damage, will impact you, and it hurts, bro. It hurts. As you can see here, the density is starting to get a bit higher. Once again, I'm used to this density being spread out, fighting everyone at the same time, not just focused up on me. We are taking some shuriken damage here. There is a dash. I don't know what kind of element it is. I guess I do. It's a light element. There is a dash that could protect us from those projectiles, potentially. We have 2 really good choices here. Shuriken attacks or throwing arts. I'm going to go for the attacks. We have a 60% chance to send a shuriken every time we attack. I would like to make it a 100% chance.
Do you think the Foot are shipping on this vessel?
This is the final boss of this biome. I did not do the hard mode because I've never beaten it. I want you guys to see as much of a run as I can show you.
Oh, how cute. I didn't take you for the fan-carrying types, turtles.
Yeah, well, it's not exactly a bad look. And it comes with some ninja benefits.
Ninja
Of course
benefits?
it does. The Tessin is an ancient weapon of war. Though I expect your feeble excuse of a sensei has never taught you these things.
That was rude. She always just talks mad crap about all of the turtles. She's not a very uplifting person. So that dash of hers is easily sidesteppable. Those shurikens she's using, we can easily get out of the way. But we're not going to underestimate our opponent here. That is a good way to die. We did get double special on her there, and unfortunately I did take the hit from that attack. The bar underneath her health bar, I keep calling it like an enrage meter. She gets really mad, and then her abilities are empowered for a short time until she cools off a little bit. So we're back into the normal version of the fight now, and we can keep going. I am able to get health back in a few different ways throughout a run. We have the passive healing from Donatello, his inspiration. We also have pizza boxes that we can find in the shop. But there are some passive bonuses where enemies like Foot Clan can just drop more pizza slices. Because I've been playing in multiplayer, my friends have invested into that. I have not invested into that. So the amount of healing on the ground this run is drastically lower than what I am used to. That's pretty fun though. I like seeing how much of an impact everyone's build is having on our run together. That's pretty neat. She is enraged. Let's get out of the way if possible, sending those shuriken forward even when we dash, so I can still technically poke at her from afar. The one problem with our current setup, if we were only sitting back with shurikens, like if we were trying to just be ranged the whole time, just doing stuff like this, we wouldn't build up any of our meters for our special or for our tool, because we actually have to go in and melee to get those back. We did get some account items there. The purple necklace denotes that I was playing Donatello when I beat this boss. There are necklaces for each of the turtles, and in order to unlock everything in the game, you do have to play as all of the turtles eventually, if you wanted to unlock everything. Now we're going into another new biome, so expect the game to get more difficult here as well. We are now out in the streets, and that conflict I was talking about earlier of two opposing factions going after each other, you should really be able to see that here. This is interesting. Tool charge is 30% faster. We already have an 80% bonus from playing as Donatello. I am very tempted to just continue to get more stuff on our special, though. We're already dealing... Ooh, wait, did that swap out? Oh, I didn't pay attention. That may swap it out. So are we only dealing lightning now? No, we're still dealing still dealing ooze. So that's good. I do have another problem with this game, and it's these mouser enemies right here, the ones that put the shield in front of their face. A lot of the attacks in this game are projected well. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Where they're like, for instance, this guy, he has a beam attack there. If I keep hanging out, he'll put a cone in front of him and a shield up in front of him. Just keep looking for that in the future. Of course, now that I want him to do that, they're not doing it. The attack shows a frontal cone in front of the shield, but it's actually a full circle. You get damage all around the enemy. So there's a few hit markers in this game that just don't quite line up like they should. And it feels like you're being cheated when it happens. I want to show you an example so you don't think I'm just being salty. It's real. We've slowed it down. We've looked at it. Do any of you have a shield in front of your face? None of them are cooperating. Well, as these guys group up, we will start doing some damage. A great example of a reason you might want to swap out your artifact at this point is because we kind of have the four main ninja tools I need to keep this build popping off. But if we swapped on the Ultram, which is the lightning artifact, we could get chain lightning every time we deal lightning damage, which is on every attack, and then every hit on the special as well. It would actually add up to be a ton of damage just ricocheting throughout the screen. That could be super fun. I typically just get scrap in these runs. If you wanted to focus on getting specific unlocks with your Dreamer coins or your Dragon coins, absolutely getting those there as room rewards is totally fine. I just want my runs to be as successful as possible, and I assume I'm going to get that trickle of currency just coming in passively anyway. Well, speaking of Ultram, here we go. Final strike. No, the attacks have a 30% chance to deal Ultram damage. Stormy weather. This one is so good. Periodically just deal lightning damage nearby. It can be upgraded to deal lightning damage to up to 3 targets. And then you can chain lightning that lightning. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me see if I can show you guys some of the synergies from that. We are officially swapping to the Sword of the Tengu. Wait, I can actually upgrade that. Let me see. You can only upgrade them past a certain level. I guess I can't look at it again. Only past a certain level once you start getting some rare currencies in a run. And you get those rare currencies by doing the challenge rooms. We've been doing a ton of the challenge rooms on the night stream with Holly. We've been playing this game like literally almost every night on her stream.
No way we're breaking
this shield guy. That's the attack. It will hit you from behind. I need an example. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it, bud. Do it. Maybe they fixed it. I'm not crazy, I swear, I'm not crazy. That's really good if they did fix it. It may also be just a desync in multiplayer as well. Well, either way, I'm happy that I'm not getting electrocuted there. Let's go ahead and pop our shield, and then we will do a special swing right behind these guys. Our damage is getting really, really good. We're just melting through these health bars. That is beautiful to see. Now, this area of the game is when we get to the next boss, It's important to remember that you don't need to clear everything like you do on these levels. Let's go ahead and get an upgrade. 100% chance to throw a shuriken forward with every attack.
Only in New York City.
I'm just going for the normal boss here. I think we have a chance of showing you guys a full run, and I don't want to mess it up if possible. One of those challenge rooms has a really good upgrade where every mouser enemy blows up when they die. And that's kind of a thing that is a negative for everyone and not just a negative for you, because the explosion that the mousers would do actually damages nearby enemies as well. Good lord, there's a lot of trash. I think this is another example of the environment fighting the boss at the same time, or he's fighting rats as well. So his fixation is not just on me. He has his own agenda out here on the streets. He does have a few different attacks that he's doing. When he teleports away, he tries to get a grapple. Luckily, we were able to get away from it, no problem. Enemies defeated. Bud, enemies are defeated. Get out of here. Flame power. Nothing I really want. Deal 40% increased damage while below 50% health. Or our dash could deal fire damage. And that wouldn't get rid of anything. Let's do it. Oh. 20% damage dealt, movement speed at the start of combat. Special and tool deal flame damage, but please note that that would get rid of our ooze damage. It does denote that on the right side of the screen. Well, let's just get more fire damage versus bosses. We can apply flame damage by just dashing over an enemy now. That is all we have to do. And there are some really good upgrades for flame if you're able to focus on it. There's one called Inferno, where if you get fire on someone at all, it will just continue to tick damage and tick damage. It is crazy strong. We do have some elite ninjas out and about on this street. They're grouped up quite nicely, which makes it a little bit easier for me to get in and deal damage. This particular ninja we're fighting right now is a darkness type. He fights with a specific element. All of the ninjas kind of change. Red ones are fire and all that stuff. I have a really hard time with this particular type of ninja. Just dodging their stuff on the ground, I really struggle with. Lots of shurikens flying around in every corner of the room, and I don't have my tool ready to defend myself. So let's just keep dipping in and out of combat as we can. We did take down the elite's armor, and this is the rest of his entourage. But I think we're going to have one more wave here. More shuriken ninja coming down from the sides, and more throwing some our way right now. I'm going to go ahead and pop my immunity, hit as many of those guys as we can, and then we can just dash through these guys to get them even more heated up. This is not our final dude. We have one more way over here at the top. Just a regular ninja. Bro, I was on the other side of the city. You couldn't have spawned a little bit closer? That's ridiculous. Thanks for grouping up. Now, I do want to say as well that if you don't like using every part of your kit, you can basically go AFK while playing certain builds. This is a great example of it. The Stormy thing, it's going to hit 3 targets now for 25 ultra damage. There's another debuff you can apply with lightning, and if you get those two things together, you're literally just standing around. So there is a very noticeable impact for all these abilities you're getting. And it's really, really fun. I decided to get the more shuriken damage on the return because we throw a shuriken every time we attack. We know that we're always going to be spawning some. It looks like they're dealing 17 damage? 14 damage on the way out, 17 on the return. And that's with the guard break too. But there's one more upgrade that we can get to make that even better. Ooh, meant to hit my shield there. Took a lot of damage to the face. This armored guy is not messing around. I do like the fire damage, but it's so much better once you get Inferno. Like, seeing that just tick around when you dash through someone is so strong. Okay, big laser coming from the top. Let's get behind this guy. We have plenty of space. Death beams from the side do change that a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and immune that. That was like a missile barrage where you have to get out of the way of a bunch of tiny little projectiles. That ain't for me right... Oh, he's doing it again. That ain't for me right now. No thanks, bud. Now, luckily, I don't think those seek me out. Or maybe they do. They were starting to curve back around, but no, they dissipated on the return. Ninja powers. Let's see what we get. 40% increase to shuriken damage. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Father would be proud.
Oh, double up. Oh, this is huge. Now, instead of just throwing one shuriken, we throw 2 every time we
To the
attack.
chairman's house we go.
We also throw a shuriken every time we dash now as well. So that's starting to add up quite nicely.
Come on.
I like that a
Wonder what we'll find this
lot.
time.
There's probably 2 more shops left in the game, so we are nearing the end of this run. Hopefully things keep going well. We have Ultram powers here. We can afford both, so I'll go ahead and do it. Special and tool deal Ultram damage. That would shock out. Electrifying! Yes! Ultram damage applies electrified to enemies, making them take damage
show
per
them how I
second.
conduct
And
myself.
again, we apply lightning damage by existing. That's it. We don't have to do anything to make that work. We're just existing.
To accept it.
Do I take
Please
the
do
challenge?
come again.
I'm going to do the challenge. This is the hard mode on the boss. Here we go. That's probably really stupid. Here we go.
Okay, let me guess. You set up a gauntlet for us.
Oh, this is unique
turtle
dialogue.
thinks he's smart, Rock. Gauntlet. He must be King Art.
Yeah, as if we use old-fashioned knight stuff, B. Let's run them through the you-know-what. They won't see it coming.
What's the you-know-what? I have beaten this boss once
Warm up.
on the harder difficulty. It is not as difficult as you may think, because the rhino will just continuously shoot at you, and you can just stand on the other side of a box, and nothing he does matters. And I don't know if it's just because I'm Donatello or what. Okay, the other guy will melee me on that side of the box. I don't know if it's because I'm Donatello, but I have enough reach that I can just continue to hit him. So I kind of cheese this fight every single time. Ethically, I don't know if I should get away with that, but it's pretty fucking easy to do. And as you can see, we're dealing pretty good passive lightning damage at the same time. As soon as these guys get to 50% health, they do change phases, so I prefer to get them at 50% evenly if possible, just to make it a little easier. I used my special there, but it instantly pushed the phase.
Juniper Jr. all the way.
And now they are leaving. It's up to me to chase after them. Remember when I said our city in the future is going to be a little different? I now need to run to the end, not kill any of those mobs at all, and just try to break down this guy that's putting up a shield. And hopefully we can do that in a relatively quick amount of time, and then start pushing through to the next area. The density of mobs is only going to get worse the longer I am here, so we need to hurry. Going immune to damage for a brief moment, and then there we go. We are through. Fantastic. Truthfully, I don't know what the difference between this fight on normal and on the harder difficulty that we are playing on are. I've beaten this fight maybe 24 times on normal difficulty, and only once on this difficulty, and I was not able to spot the difference. It's exactly the same. Unfortunately, I'm having a hard time getting in there to melee at the moment, but luckily for us, we are dealing passive damage around us all of the time, and I could just kind of continuously dash through to get my shuriken on Rocksteady, especially while he is channeling the kind of mortar fire attack that has a very low chance of hitting me. We should be able to strike down pretty hard right here. As long as I dash in between each of the melee strikes of Bebop as well, we should be fine. If I have these guys' names reversed, I don't know if I'll ever be able to live with myself. I just wanted to say that for the record. Unfortunately, this blue beam that they're putting down doesn't seem to hurt them at all, but... Oh, I don't have a shield.
I'm in trouble.
But we are doing very well. And that should do it. Woo-hoo-hoo! Killed him at the same time! Come on, that should be an achievement. That should be an achievement.
You remain victorious.
My theory is that Bebop and Rocksteady would have quit already if they weren't more afraid of Karai than they are of us.
Oh, also for multiplayer, there's a difference between pizza boxes. A pizza box, like this, will heal your entire party. A single slice of pizza is only for the person that picks it up. Important to mention that. Okay, we are pushing forward into the final stretch of this run. By the way, the story is that your dad got taken into a
whether it's natural or
dimensional rift. And you only get little glimpses of him. That's why it's Splintered Fate. Do you get it? Periodically deal ultram damage, more fire damage to throw 2 shuriken when you dash. Because of the upgrade we have, that's now 3 shuriken when we dash. And because of our account upgrades, we have 3 charges of our dash. So look at this. Boop, boop, boop.
Breaking other people's machines is bizarrely satisfying.
And then just bring it back to him. That'll take care of all of our problems, dude. Easy does it, dude. God, we don't even have increased damage to armor. We're just shotgunning that much damage forward. That's kind of ridiculous.
I must destroy such a fine.
I'm going to use special again to try to break through their shields. The elites were no match for us. But remember, the game is still getting harder. I'm going to get upgrades here and hope that I can get something for our shuriken. More shuriken damage. 65% increase to shuriken damage sounds great to me. And of course, you could specialize in flame, ooze, lightning, all kinds of other stuff. So a shuriken one is only one option. One of many options for a run. Your run doesn't have to look anything like this at all. Why wouldn't you want it to, though? Those guys are absolutely shredded. Oh my goodness. Our damage is nuts. I think the most powerful build I've ever run was lightning mixed with flame dash. So you were just kind of dealing periodic lightning damage to everyone, and that was chaining around, and it was applying a guard break. But then every enemy I dashed through would then be lit ablaze and just continue to take fire damage. I'm going to go for some more scrap here. The final shop is different from all the others. You can get a little currency there if your run's going well. So if I can get a bit more money heading into that,
We've got a special
we can
one
upgrade
here.
our account a little bit more. Let's go ahead and pop shield. I'm going to try to just spam out a special or 2 right there. Get some poison on these guys. That doesn't even seem necessary because the shuriken are doing everything we could have ever asked them to do. You know, I think if you had slightly more dashes, like if I had more dashes, I could get... Obviously, I could get more shuriken out because I'm dashing more, but I think I could outrun the shuriken even longer to have more in play, like just trying to catch up to me, boomeranging around. Now, the reason I like the boomerang more than the ricochet for the shuriken is simply because on bosses, there's nothing to ricochet to, so I haven't seen the ricochet effect actually pop off anywhere near as much as this kind of effect. But I think in multiplayer, if you were, you know, if your friend was dealing really good single target damage, I could see ricocheting stuff out to every edge of the screen being super duper fun.
Keep it.
Break these boxes. We might get a little more scrap. We're just underneath 1,000. If we can get to 1,200, that means we can get an upgrade and something else in that final shop. These little dudes don't even really have a chance to get to me.
My respect to your
They're
maker.
just being cut up in the blender, dude. That's so satisfying. I did a Risk of Rain video like this once, didn't I? Well, that level was cleared super fast. Unfortunately, no turtle powers on this one. Is this an upgrade? I kind of think we're getting to the next shop soon. Lightning has passed. Oh, the blue circles that you were seeing on the ground, that is from a storm in-game. And if you are building for water, your water damage is actually more powerful in storms. Those storms are another great example of an effect that's not only there to punish you, it also punishes the enemies as well. Obviously, you're spawning lightning circles all over the room, and that can be hard to deal with. But if an enemy is inside of that AoE, they're also taking damage just like you would. The game is very fair in that regard. And I like it a lot. Sometimes the negative effects on portals aren't as bad as you may think. Scrap one more time. We have enough scrap, so let's get some Dreamer coins.
Exchange rate? More like strange rate.
This mini-boss has ended more runs than any other gauntlet challenge we have done.
If you guys fight each other, do the flames
The
cancel
twin
out?
assassins are super difficult to deal with, and I think it's because I suck at dealing with this darkness one. Even though they kind of have the same effect, you know, the same... Oh, shield. The same moves as all other ninjas. I don't know. It's just, maybe it's psychological. I struggle with it a lot. You'll notice I'm focusing him down first, or at least trying to, eating some damage there as we spammed out the special. I don't know why they call the Mystic Assassin. Why isn't he a Flame Assassin?
Hardened shell.
Our damage there was
We
excellent,
did
excellent,
it.
excellent damage. Wow. I'm so used to those guys just being the biggest health sponge
If pizza's a
in
guilty
4-player
pleasure,
co-op.
then lock me away.
Okay, this is our final shot before we move into the final boss
Where
fight
is this
of
place exactly?
our run. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves. We can get another revive. Woo! I'll get an upgrade. Dang, quick hands is unfortunately locked behind a currency that I don't have enough of. So we're just going to get more damage on our shuriken. And another res. I'm up to 3 reses now. We have not used a res yet, which feels pretty good.
Another challenge.
Let's see
wishes on your trial.
if we can get the win today. I've never seen the gauntlet challenge for Shredder, dude.
Children, you return to tempt fate and fortune once again.
Yep. Fortune had nothing to do with our victory, Shredder.
Yeah, only one needing luck around here is you, Spike Dome. And Father always says that fate is what we make it.
Yeah, Father
Does
says
he
that.
indeed? Tell me, is his current fate as a helpless prisoner of his own making?
I think you'd be surprised just how helpful Master Splinter's been despite his imprisonment, Shredder.
We hear from him all the time.
Enough talk, sons of Hamato Yoshi. Know you're better. Death and decay.
Oh, I love getting lightning damage off early. So, fighting this guy as a solo is going to be a very different experience. Normally, what happens in multiplayer is that he fixates on one of the turtles, and we just kind of play on his back. That's not going to be an option here. He dives underground, like you just saw there, hiding and then erupting on us. It's difficult to tell when that eruption is going to happen, so I just try to get away from it if possible. We're doing some pretty good damage here. He is calling in some goop on the ground. I'm going to pop my immunity. Just try to weather the storm as best as I can. In multiplayer, when he does a leap like that, there's always a second leap. So... Oh, God. How do you tell when he's coming out of the ground? I have no idea. So his moveset has changed in single player, which is kind of interesting. This is more goop coming down. Is this targeted on me? I wonder if I could just kite this away. It does look like I have kind of a radiating shadow effect on me while that is in play. Okay, we did pretty good damage there. I think this is his... Oh, it's when the center circle reaches me. I can just dash through it. Nice. Okay. So, unfortunately, it may look like I'm winning, but this is only phase 1.
With the energy of manifested reality.
None of this feels very zen to me.
I don't know why there's ads here. Oh, probably where if you have the Foot Clan thing, you can get health off these guys.
He's more powerful than
Maybe it's to
ever.
charge my tools while there's downtime as well. I actually really don't know. Oh, there's the double strike. All of the ads have been dealt with. Okay. Oh, I know how to dodge that now. Yes. Where's he showing up? That was scary, and he was out of my special range. This is double jump, and then we get in and deal damage.
Volatile field alert.
I do think I'm just gonna stay in and take a res here. So that was one of my 3 resurrections. I wanted to see what would happen if we just tried to pump a little more shuriken damage into him. It looks like there are more ads out and about now, using my immunity there to try to get more poison on him. As long as we dash while he is dashing, we will be completely immune to that damage. But my timing is not perfect. I am getting chipped by a lot of this stuff. And it looks like I will be unintentionally using one of my revives. Good dash behind him there. Let's see if we can get to the other side. We have a lot of really good shuriken booming back in. Apparently, I was in front of him there. I didn't realize that. That just hit me for 7. Next hit is going to be my death, and there it is. So let's just spam a tool. Get more damage. Immune that. Make sure we're dashing out and then back in. Dashing out. Okay. He is getting low. But so am I. Oh, that hit. Immune that. Special. Oh, God. Special. Out of range. The dot damage is helpful from the ooze. I think we got it. I'm staying it. Okay, boys. Our first official solo full run for Splintered Fate is in the books.
I refuse to let this be the end. He may have been wrong about your skills, but I will yet prove his faith in my ability to destroy you was not misplaced. I will return, and this game's final victory will be mine.
That's one thing that I could see being very polarizing. They quite literally use the terms play the game a lot, and we gotta play again and stuff like that.
Portals, because they keep popping up everywhere and they keep defying explanation.
Dudes, speaking of...
My sons, I am so pleased to see you have won another round.
Hi, Splinter.
Father, are you okay?
I am fine, Leonardo, all things considered.
What things, Sensei? What's going on?
I wish I could say, Raphael. I am lost in the dark as much as the four of you. I only know we must continue this dangerous game to its conclusion
See what I mean?
if we are to have any hope of being reunited.
Conclusion?
Why, the final round.
I don't know who this is.
Where the true victor shall be crowned.
You again. Who are you?
Yeah, quit hiding and come out of there and show yourself, creep voice.
In due time, O fiery one. For now, I advise you to take friend Shredder's advice and celebrate this win. I'll even throw in another trophy to make the celebration complete. Until next time, brave mutants. If there is one.
And that's gonna do it. Oh, another thing I don't like. This is a...
My sons.
Hi, Splinter.
Dang
Bye.
it, they're gone again. Oh,
Bye,
man.
Splinter. Another thing I don't like is this is a co-op roguelike. So when I look at stats, I want to see how much damage I've done. I can't see how much damage I've done. That's literally the most important thing in a co-op game. Show me that.
Something didn't feel right about that one.
Well, that's going to do it for today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I recommend this game, even with its quirks, especially if you're playing in co-op. It's been super fun. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you all again very soon.